in towards Vitality.
It almost looks too good to be true for NIP to maintain that rhythm. When Alexi B is one of the highest rated player of the play-in, when he's got to work with pieces that he doesn't even know and then everything clicks, you do it one best of 3 against Spirit, do it again against Vitality.
Let's see if it happens. Of course, for NIP, they may not have a lot of chances, but they're already warmed up here in Katowice, and Vitality is coming hot to trot off last. Let's see what happens in our very first best of 3 between these two teams at IEM Katowice, and let's kick it over to our casters.
Oh, they're hot, they're trotting, they got fire under their feet, and they've got things to prove today. Vitality back in Poland, up against NIP, storming their way through the play-in, and now we're here. I'm here with Harry. How you doing, Mr. Russell?
Oh, nice. You remember my name. I felt the hesitation there. This is going to be great, man. This is I've been running my hands together. The moment I found out this was the one that we get to witness, I really want to keep my eye on Hedrick and his development throughout the year. Very excited when it was announced he was joining the SNP squad. But already, Vitality have hit the ground running. Magisk opens with his USP. This kind of first dive over towards the apartments, bit of an Alexi classic, has not gone well for him. He's on the receiving end of this double stack, and now Vitality, they're even trying to take a few liberties here, getting aggressive in the apartments.
Yeah, from liberties to libraries, who will go quiet first? Config falls after 1. They don't know about the bomb right here, so Hedrick cannot commit. And Brolin's got a P2 Schmitty trying to pick out a ramp. He's done it, finding Dupree. Won't be ready for a quick CT repeak, but he's buying time and he's pulling Vitality out of the site. So is Hedrick, however, rotating all the way around through Spawn. This will be that A end with a top con smoke, that mid-rotate cut off. And he might even be hearing Hedrick making that run. I think Apex might have caught some steps there, so now he's going to set up on the flank.
This is a big wraparound for Apex. Brolin's taken all this space over towards jungle. And NIP...
No way.
They want to try and... Okay, so they call this the murder hole. And this is why. It's a hole where the murder happens. But Brolin responds to catch a murderer. Magisk gone, and now...
Oh, he blocked him!
Quite keep them from crossing into the market. And considering how this started for Vitality with them taking liberties in the apartments, well, now it's Lady Liberty, nothing but misses for Spinks.
Nice.
A 2v2, Apex up through the short side, dead immediately, and then the jump missed. This has gone very bad, very quickly for Vitality. Brolin with a great opener. 3 in the round, and now just 1 man left to get past. Out with the swing. They know where Spinks is coming from. I just heard someone say, play time. They're playing time, they're taking fights, and Brolin's there with 4 on the board to open up for NIP.
Brolin called the best Swedish player by Kassar coming to this game, I think in current form. Certainly a case to be made for it. And 4 kills in the pistol round. You love to see it from this guy. I think everyone wants to, jump behind the Brolin success story. I think a lot of people felt the pain of him, coming into NIP. The whole narrative being, I want to speak Swedish. That's why I left Fnatic. Enough of these Brits in my server. And then Alexi B joins. Yeah, fair enough. Alexi B joins, and we go back to English. So I think despite that, Brolin hanging on is admirable, and I think we all want the best for him. Nip with the pistol. Bit of a crazy round of rotations there. And unfortunate for Apex, who gets that misinformation on the bomb coming through ramp. Well, it did come through ramp, but it ended B. Vitality with a force. Apex on the scout. And Nip 4 rifles, working middle with 3 of them. Gonna have full control. Perfect round to gamble, and Vitality will do as much. Set towards B with this scout as well. These rounds can get very hairy very quickly, eh, Harry?
Yes, indeed. But Apex employs the trimmer, trying to cut them down as they come up through the short side. 3 there, and only the tag, but now Spinks and Dupree can come alive. This stack over towards the B site, it served Vitality well. It's left both these players in the 2v1 extremely low. For Magisk, 2 bullets could end this round. Oh! There was an opportunity, there was a chance, but it sails on past him. Now tucked in at the bench. Brolin waits with bated breath. It was this position in the pistol that he used to close it out, and he's done it again in the anti-eco. Considering they're so low on HP, you know, they might be sat in the 2v1. You might be going, just play the crossfire. But, like, come on now. You know, one bullet's all that's needed from a guy like Magis there. They do a really good job of keeping that safe. And really, they end up thanking their lucky stars that he misses that opportunity onto Rez over at short, right? It gave so much over. It gave them the info. It gave them the ability to take it very, very wide and play that crossfire between short and bench. So they do walk it over the line, making it through a stacked B bomb site in the process.
Oh, ZywOo down in con, drops out window, but they're going to knock him out with nades and send him back to the site. Dupree up the ladder as well quickly, but Rez isn't falling for it. Dupree will be allowed to escape. Don't want to hang around in there. You don't have any nades to put out a molly. Spinks and ZywOo might just peek mid together late in the round, but they don't have a flash to set them up. At least some deagles for Vitality, but Nip taking their sweet time on this T side. Just trying to remove as many angles as they can. Window and top con smoked. The former will fade first. Hedrick's up connector already with that Mac 10, the AWPer, the new AWPer, trying to make his money early in the game. They've seen him though. There's no question for Vitality where this one's ending up. Config will find Spinks first and foremost, but that's a nice deeg from Dupree. Magis moving into connector, denied, and the A site falls as a result.
ZywOo shoulder checking him there. Config bashes him out of the round, and so NIP onto a third. They find this conversion. Now, Hugo, we were watching some of the content in the break. Yes. I have a theory around Dupree. Go on. You know it.
I know.
I don't know if you subscribe to it, but you know it.
Probably not, but let's hear it.
I saw him beat ZywOo in that little hand reaction game thing where they have to hit the coloured lights. I think that's the full title.
Bippity-boppity.
Patented, of course. And he beat him. And ZywOo swears by those things, man. He plays them all the time. So, you know, Dupree is feeling pretty quick. Feeling pretty quick right now. If that's anything to go by.
That is a good sign. I'm not going to extrapolate that too far, but I'd say it's a good sign.
I think it's a good sign, right?
Not easy to beat.
It's a reaction game, and you're playing versus ZywOo.
Yeah, that's true. He's pretty quick. I've heard. But let's see if it's just a flash or a flash in the pan. Smoked out a window immediately. Even Nip volleying under as they take it from the B side, being very cautious. But Vitality really haven't challenged mid. They haven't been able to be fair, especially not in this round with the AWP immediately smoked out. Talking of smokes, I like that new change added by Vlad, who's put the timer in smokes. He ducked under it. ZywOo didn't see. He should have seen. He should have known. But now, suddenly aware, not enough. Rez creeps in out of nowhere. The invisible man invited to dinner. And they say nobody minds. I think ZywOo does. A 5-on-4 while Nip have Jungle ready to split this A site. As long as Rez doesn't die, they can group back on ramp. Bomb will be coming in through mid. Still too strong a B for Vitality. They know they have this gaping hole in the back of their head, but they can't do anything about it.
Config just got spotted dropping down as well. So, like, now I think it's really driven this one home that, yeah, okay, our suspicions are correct. They are going to use Rez to try and split this A side of the map. Not going to make it any easier to contest with, though. The molly is really nice. It just means he doesn't have to worry about getting traded through the murder hole, through the back line, and he can keep this position on lock. There isn't a way back into this round for Vitality, and if we're being honest, there never really was, with Rez getting all that position and no one really in a place to do anything about it, to have any sort of say in what Rez was going to get away with there. And I think that's why you saw Vitality, like, hesitant to even start pulling bodies over, right? Firstly, when he's got window like that, there's a lot that can happen from that position. He can try to wrap market. He can try to come through the murder hole. He can try to cut down rotations. Or you can use him for that A-side split. And it ends up being the latter. Vitality, I think, knew about that from the moment they saw Config drop down. But they're hesitant to even pull anyone over because at that point they kind of realize, yeah, we were never in position to deal with this, right? And with ZywOo falling in that fashion over in mid, with Rez ducking under the light, a 200 IQ move, so often that feels like a guaranteed kill, right? If you're holding the window. This is the cross. Normally, right, what happens if you're not familiar with with the Source Engine's magic is that as you cross in front of that light, even though it's in the smoke, the light gets obscured, and so you know to shoot. You know someone's made it into window.
And it almost seemed like Zywoo was aware of maybe there's a chance, maybe he could be up ladder already, and he tried to back out, but he gets caught trying to, you know, shuffle back through the hole, and that's when Rez comes around the corner. Good a bit of spam for Apex, but it's responded very swiftly, and Config puts him down low. One of the 2 saved rifles in this round. Oh. Vitality, they clearly want mid because they keep starting with lots of numbers in window and towards connector, but they can never really get control. Bottom con smoke gives him some room to fight under, and Alexi B has got to be careful. He's got his own smoke there side by side though, so his timers are very nice. He's going to pull back instead. Team walking into B, Rez getting curious. Looking to land on his feet. Alexi ready to kill any form of rotation, but dying here would leave a big hole as Vitality could come in on an underflank. The bomb's not even through B yet. Apex is realizing, uh-oh, gotta watch out, those nades can kill him. Nice HE from him at least, puts Rez down to half, and they don't want to commit all of a sudden. Rightly so, they had their window, but now Vitality have closed it. 3 players in the bomb site. Back to the drawing board, but only 40 seconds for Nip.
Yeah, they don't want to overcook this one too much, right? Vitality don't have a lot riding on this round, and I think the way that you let them in is if you leave it too long, if that clock really starts to become a factor, you could end up in hot water. That kill has alleviated a lot of the pressure, giving them a route up through the connector. Zywoo does reside over on short, but that molly displaces him into Magisk with the deagle. Spinks holding this cross as well. They can play in tandem. Magisk taking Ence off with the deag. He's done all he had to in the round. Config doesn't have the time to win this. It's Vitality stealing it away on the pistols, and that fight is ugly to close.
Damn!
And loud!
All right. Apex is here finally in Katowice. It took 5 rounds, but Vitality have woken up with a big one off the deag of Magisk as well. Hits 2 blinders in the bomb site.
Dude, I mean, these moments always scare me because I have a lot of different memories cycling through my head of big deagle moments or big pistol moments from Vitality, especially on Mirage, right? You have like the Zywoo play over towards ramp. You have Apex's deagle in mid-window, even that one time. You remember that flick, bro?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, so there's a lot of track record to go off of. And it felt like it was only a matter of time till we got some pistol heroics. We get them there. And it's Vitality on the board. Spinks traded. It's a little Palace pop in this round. Brolin with the entries has given over this A-site control, and I like this from Alexi, right? That last round did feel a little overcooked, right?
Yeah.
In terms of how long they take to get going. And so this time he's like, you know what? We fell down a little bit in the mid-round there. We kind of got caught between 2 streams of thought. We weren't really committed to what we wanted to do out of the start. Let's completely change that. Let's just go all in towards this A-site. We'll pop out of Palace. We'll have a little bit of a ramp play coming in the meantime. And they find the round on the back of it. They keep it nice and simple, and they might even remove this gun right at the end. Rez and Dupree are locked in a fight that neither one of them really know they're having, but they both suspect.
Oh, Rez can feel it, but he's not ready for that. Dupree gets away with his gun for now, and that's a very Scandinavian round, right? One guy quick splitting con, and everyone else jumping out of Palace in a unit with no util on that A site other than the missed con smoke, and they just run through, run wild as well. I think somewhat realizing how heavy Vitality have been playing towards the middle area, even if they haven't been able to take it. There's only one man in the bomb site in that round, and Brolin hit some lovely entry kills to get out Palace, and so Vitality can't celebrate for long, can they? Nip are looking sharp, I've got to say it. Just those couple of days of warm-up of coming in through the play-in, and they hit a play today, Harry. They hit a run through the groups of Katowice. Remember, this is a team that 2-0'd Spirit just yesterday to actually get through and make it to the group stage, and it wasn't a close affair either. They destroyed Spirit. 16-7, 16-8. And even fielded an 8-round T-side on Mirage while they did it. So yeah, Nip have certainly had their warm-up. Same can be said for Vitality. At least a week ago, we saw Heku talk to Spinks coming into this game. Not really much break over the winter holidays, and just coming off of Copenhagen as well, where Vitality ran flawless, didn't they? Dropped 1 map, won all their BO3s, didn't have to play Gauntlet, and so therefore got a little bit more time to come in prepped for Katowice. It needs to start showing soon, though. Head trick, his first AWP of the T side, and a missed shot in window.
NIP are grouped with everyone really leaning over towards this B side of the map, so it's not going to leave them with a lot of options, but well, give them a pretty gnarly take if they're able to break past Apex on the opener. There's this far slower rotate available from dupreeh. Maybe that causes some problems for them. It's going to have to.
But B is so weak.
Yeah, we're just, you know, one guy here. Admittedly, you have some support from short that could look to come in, but actually it looks like Spinks has dropped down into the window. dupreeh, as a result, really is feeling the pressure, but he's found a good timing. He hears them running by. Head trick dead. That's the bomb as well, dropped in the back of apartments. dupreeh finds the perfect gap, the perfect timing. And so just him being alive is really a problem. The rest of Vitality have now moved into the lower tunnels as well. They're all playing around this bomb for NIP. What are you even meant to do here? This is so scuffed.
And hide and seek in the site, just trying to live. But these kills aren't even being given to them. Apex is stalling wonderfully well. Finally hounded down by Rez. It took 2 more players of NIP, and they've still got to get that bomb in 20 seconds.
It's pretty close to the door, but I don't imagine he survives.
No brokey hop today. He's going to die if he tries to do that. They've got to win a bunch of fights here, and they've got to win them now. They've mollied themselves. They aren't going for the round win. Is that even on purpose? I mean, that's crazy to me. Like, at least try and take the fight.
Sure, just trogged up. Like, hang on 1 sec. Let me win Vitality the round real quick. Just lobs that molly in and then
I really want to save. I really want to save. Here's the molly. You know, that might have been the call, but I feel like there was a way in to just try and take those fights. You win a couple really quick. You can take that bomb back B, but yeah, not believing in it perhaps for NIP. This was so close for Head Trick, but so close doesn't cut it, does it? Bomb going in last, bit awkward. And they'll pay the price. It would have been fine if Head Trick died as long as the bomb made it in. They could have tried to take market and plant for it. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. Ye of little faith. And Vitality, they'll take it. All off of dupreeh on a big flank.
Yeah, you know, I do have a good feeling about dupreeh here. It's a good start.
Is it just because of the hand button mashing, Harry?
Largely, yes. But also, you know, I think even when you kind of look at him individually, right, there's no denying that his form fell off upon joining Vitality. That was originally to be expected, but I don't think anyone kind of expected him to still be having a lot of these strugglesome games. And so I can imagine he's probably put a good bit of effort into trying to up his individual game.
Oh, still down and lower again? Alexi spotted them. They haven't left mid yet, but double flashes and Alexi somehow escapes. Oh, sorry, Magisk, rather. No AWP for Head Trick this time. Config, he's been very active towards B on his own. He said it himself. He doesn't know the whole playbook for NIP. He doesn't know everything he's up against. And I think NIP probably don't want to share everything because next week he's going to be standing in for another team, I bet. But looking towards B on a solo play, and Apex is tucked in. Meanwhile, this is a B split up short.
Now, only one for dupreeh. Apex, that's good, but is going to get chased down by Config. Was kind of living on borrowed time there as the A1S runs out of ammo. Alexi, hello! He's in a round-winning position right here. There's one. Could have been more, but Config swings in. They don't know about Magisk. Will drop the bomb, and now just Alexi left to find. Magisk dances around.
He hits it.
Jump hit and now up on short alongside him, but Magisk has repositioned well to play around this bomb. Trying to play some mind games with Alexi, and it goes both ways. He feigns the drop down in mid. Now commits to it for real. 20 seconds, and he knows at any moment he could get peeked by Magisk. This is such a mind game of a round. But in the end, Alexi will successfully cross all the way into A. Gets that bomb down at default, and now a chance. Magisk swings, but Alexi's going to take it over the line. And that's a celebration for NIP as Alexi keeps them in it in the clutch.
What a well-played clutch for Alexi. You know, he's stalling a lot of time, jumping around, making noise, trying to force that fight, but Magis just doesn't want to bite with only, 15 points of health. He's just stalling till a post plant, trying to catch him with the bomb out, perhaps, but damn. Nice try, Alexi closes, and DJL getting loud as well. That's a nice feeling. We don't have a lot of screamers on this NIP side, right? So, the more the better. There's out wide in middle, dead to Spinks. Finally, no window smoke, and they pay the price as ZywOo pushes up top mid at the same time and drops the bomb with 2. That's more like it. Vitality take matters into their own hands. Throw everything they can at NIP. And look at the spot they're in. They've got top mid, they've got the bomb, they've got NIP split. 1 per site, but they're coming back, reuniting in spawn for this fight to ZywOo. And even he isn't overplaying his hand, making sure upon contact he can go back and get some support from his team. This is a very rough round, but too much time to molly yourself off in the B apartments. NIP have to fight for it. The flash comes 2 seconds too early. And maybe that's a way in.
All right, so this was the 2v5 when this play began. Let's see how close NIP can get this. They've been given all this control in middle. No one else from Vitality's kind of moved in to try and pick up where ZywOo left off. Instead, they concede this real estate, and so it's given NIP the room to try and make a bit of a play here. Now back turn to jungle. Config having to just keep an eye on that. They cross all the way, looking to try and find this CT player. Now Magis just lobbed a nade out, so they know he's here somewhere. They're going to check for him, and Magisk is dead. That's a route to a plant now. This is starting to become something, Hugo. A 2v5 when it began. Spam from Apex is huge. It's going to leave it all on Brolin.
I believe.
That is a huge bit of pressure alleviated. But Brolin's still in with a chance. Getting wrapped through CT, and he can't win that first fight. Vitality, they will pick that one back up. It got a little nerve-wracking there in the mid-round, but thanks to Apex from short, it all comes together in the end.
Yeah, I was a little scared there, I can't lie to you, but the spam greatly improves their chances. NIP can't play any kind of crossfire in the post plant. Config is trying to cross back to site, or back to balcony at least, and yeah, he's shut down through the smoke. Very nice try for NIP. Even getting a bomb plant there is going to keep them above water. They will still, however, have to field an eco round or a half buy. Oh no, they're just going for it. Why not? Yeah, they've got a lot of Galils, so it's worked out. Worthwhile.
Yeah, the glass is so cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never even thought about it like that before.
Some teams it works better than others. This is quick. ZywOo just gets up the ladder in time and decks 2 heads, ready for more because they've shown a Palace pop before. Instead, this time it's a ramp split. NIP do get out onto Tetris. Magisk back in CT. I think he saw a head there. Gets his smoke down, a bit of cover. Alexi with a flick headshot. He is looking clean today, but he's all alone and too low to make magic happen, you'd think. He somehow dived his way into window, but they know exactly where he's gotten to. Oh, they even saw him as well, so there's no question here for Vitality. He hears the jump. Dupree not in a hurry.
Oh, sorry. He's hit all these timings, but that's the one that won't be found. Tried to have that mass effect in the round, tried to be a very elusive man, but couldn't, as Vitality do eventually sniff him out.
All right, bit of a wake up for Vitality. Better late than never. This was nice for ZywOo. Different position as well, playing anchored in A. It was a good call. Vitality probably reading that NIP would go back to what's worked in these fast sight hits. Had a great round out of the Woo. Pistols now, nothing to lose. Run through a molly, why don't you? Magis getting caught out of position. He's stuck at triple, but he should be fine to fight forward. Him and ZywOo put together a full house, and it's going to be another round for Vitality. 5 alive. Now the CT money starts building, and now reality starts crashing down upon NIP. Alexi's going to have to dig deep in this follow-up gun round. So they're not even going to have the AWP either. Something we've seen in 1 round for, oh sorry, 2 rounds for Headtrick. No, what? Was it? I want to say 1 round. It was the round that Dupree shot him in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit of a cold start for the young AWPer. And as we know, ZywOo on the other side can do it no matter what weapon you give him. Run boost out top mid.
Oh, Spinks wins that, all right.
And they don't swing with him either, so there's not even a chance of a trade. Nip live and die by the flying res. Wings plucked.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. Kind of grinds to this very jarring halt now for NIP, where it's like, okay, that was our opener, that was the opening move, it's not worked, so now what are you left with? They still have all this util, so they can try and like launch a, you know, a late pump into mid.
And you know Apex is just saying, don't overplay this. Like, they don't need to take any more fights in middle. Just try and stall Nip out. The clock has been a problem in a couple of these rounds. They try and leave mid. And Magis just faces with no flash. He gets away with a kill. Now they're really cooked. Apex is hearing this as well. He pushed deep B apartment, so now he's going to reroute under, try and reinforce that A side perhaps, as Nip just group for what might even be a save. They could go out Palace as a unit, but you are really desperate to think that this is a round winner. And so I think Nip are throwing in the towel.
All right, then, bit of a non-starter.
Back-to-back flawless rounds for Vitality, man. They are building.
It's even weirder because it's like, you know, they could bring the AWP out, but at this point, they need someone to die to do it. They're just going to keep the 5 rifles in tow time and time again while they keep getting these flawless rounds on the board.
Well, think about it. The round that ZywOo actually had the M4, he pushed up short and he got a double kill and won them the round. Whereas when he's had the AWP, he's often been smoked out a window instantly. I would have loved a second player swinging here. If your intention is to just try and, it's usually to set off the crosshair of the player holding mid, and then to, you know, you often win that off the top of the boost, but to have a second player ensures the trade at least. Spinks trying to spot over the smoke, see if they're fast catting, but Nip are not in a hurry. Roland on a Palace lurk. Gone a bit quieter in these last couple of rounds. And this Magisk ZywOo A-hold has been the brightest point for Vitality in this game. Can Nip snuff out that fire? Lick their fingers. Grab that candle, Harry.
Well, an old flame in Magis does exist under the Palace in this round. ZywOo going to try and help him from the stairs, but that molly burns him out into the open. Okay, Spinks with one on the cross through the smoke. That might give Vitality a reason to look into this one. Now, while this is happening, Config is still in the B apartments, and his teammates have been melted by Apex. He was sneaking this, and now he's realized, I've got to run. I've got to go fast. Over towards the catwalk, but the bomb is not planted for him. It's behind triple. So Config has got to move. He's got to be quick here. And they hear him as a result, running it through the back line. Spinks has got him, and Dupree's nade finds that last man. Rez knocked out. Vitality are now up in the lead on this one.
Yeah, and that's all Apex getting that double from CT, because the thing is, Config looks a bit silly there, but if his teammates don't get double killed and spawn, he has so much time to set up and flank. You know, the big mistake there is that con smoke is fading. We can see that nicely enough, but Config doesn't know the timing of it, and so he doesn't want to sit behind the con smoke on Cat. He goes jungle instead. He's running, and at least from, you know, short to con, he can cover the cross. He can see something. He can span triple perhaps, but running jungle, Spinks just stands still. He hears him flanking, so it's kind of a useless flank at the end of the round. That's a really awkward one for Nip, who just get double killed in spawn, and the whole round unravels.
I'm gonna say something here that you might like, Hugo.
Oh,
you know, so one of the memories I have, and maybe other Vitality fans have, is
do it.
man named Apex quite likes to be involved in those early fights. And normally, you know, we'll say it's a mixed bag of results, right?
It's usually pretty bad.
Yeah,
usually pretty bad.
We'll say it's a mixed bag. But he's not been involved in a single opening fight. Instead, he's a super safe pair of hands anchoring down over towards that B side of the map right now, right?
I like that,
so it feels like maybe he's kind of tried to revise his role within the squad a little bit, shifting away from taking some of these openers and entrusting that to the rest of the gang. And I tell you what, he's looked all the better for it because, as mentioned, in a lot of these moments, he's kind of put up those like swing kills, right? Even that round where he was just staying alive over towards B where dupreeh pushed lower. He's playing a very safe game right now, is Apex.
And he's been, you know, I've been watching the minimap on him on B. He's been doing like these bait and switch setups. This time it's ZywOo with the AWP. He's had, you know, like dupreeh jumping car while he's deep apps and stuff like that. So, you know, he's been keeping it fairly fresh. And that's nice. Yeah, not seeing him, he's typically often in window or con, taking a lot of mid fights on Mirage. So that is a nice adaptation, Harry. Good catch. And Vitality all the better for it because they were down 5-1 to start this game, 6-2. And now look at the scoreline. 5 rounds in a row. And some very clean rounds in there as well. You can tell from the banks. 10k on Spinks. ZywOo finally, someone dies so we can get an AWP. Apex. Oh, this is cheeky for Config. Inside of the smoke, waiting on the fade. It's a nice move from Config, but it can be a gamble at times, and that smoke goes deeper. It won't put off Config's position, or at least it shouldn't. Timing is everything. They're running up Cat. This could go well.
First kill connects for ZywOo's AWP. Apex knocks out one, but Config will get the drop on him, and now falls out of the apartments into the site, but the power... Oh, Alexi through the market.
Okay.
Does knock out ZywOo, and don't underestimate this guy in the clutch, but yeah, with only 12 seconds, there's no way in for him, surely. Bombs down over towards short. He's got to be quick, got to be pacey, and Spinks is feeling shooting the facey. It's 8 on the board for Vitality, as they've at least won out this first half of play.
Fantastic recovery for the Vitality squad, right? It's a narrative I'm sure we're going to be pushing a little more in this series as it goes on, but Katowice has not been a kind tournament to Vitality, has it? Right? Since their inception, late 2018, they attended 2019 Katowice, grouped back there, and that really followed for every Katowice, including the online one of 2021. They have been grouped at 4 Katos in a row, with different rosters, with Frenchmen, with Alex in the squad, and with this team as well. They want to avoid that, break the curse, break the streak. And right now, we're seeing great signs out of Vitality. No one anchoring A this time, but NiP aren't lining up and execute. A look to just contact out ramp together. It relies on this mid-control Config. He's had some very important positions in this T side to varying results. Spinks. Swings in mid. Config needs his kill. He jumps up. It takes him a second. His captain dies, but he at least gets the kill. Vitality, they go for a quick check on A, and now the timing is good for NiP. They've crept out as soon as Magiska's gone for that info. However, ZywOo's here.
Yeah, right place, right time. AWP misses that first attempt at the volley, but second looks pretty. Brolin dead, and ZywOo's swinging with Deagles now as well. Config left up in this one, but he's getting wrapped through top middle. dupreeh should be there. He's just seen him getting up into the connector. Config's dodge death, but only for a moment. Not too much longer left in this one, and there's the close, and 9-6 half in Vitality's favor.
Flashing backside. Balcony.
Balcony.
Guys, don't die. I'm behind. Yep. One shot. Two shot.
Hunting runner. I can come A if you want.
Wait, many short. Two short. Pick now. Go pick. Be careful on the gun last.
Yep.
One more maybe.
Yes.
Short, low. Nice! Woo!
Two offers will clash against each other on the server. We already had an opportunity to talk to Hattrick during the planes, but ZywOo, you just arrived. You had approximately 1 week off. What was the team doing?
I think everyone take some rest with family. Obviously, we have some good practice, but most likely we have good rest before for Katowice because we know it's gonna be tough. We're gonna play tough matches, so yeah, most likely rest. Yeah.
Well, Hattrick, I know that when it comes to you, you already had experience of playing against different Tier 1 teams before NIP, but you never played against Vitality and you never played against Daivu. Yeah. When you were transitioning from being a rifler to an AWPer, were you actually watching his demos?
Yeah, of course, I watch his demos like a lot because I think he's for sure like strong AWPer and very strong player. And I watched like back in 2018 when we just came into Tier 1, you know, and it was like banger, yeah. So, of course, I'm trying to watch demos and I hope we'll have a great match.
But do you think that you might still like remember some of his tendencies and you'll be able maybe to counter him a little bit?
No, I don't know. I think there is not kind of players that plays always like the same positions, you know. It's sometimes hard to predict type of these operas, but we'll try just to play our game and we also have a new roster, so we'll see. We'll just try to focus and show some good performance.
Well, you're going to face a guy who relatively recently changed from a rifle to an AWP. And also, NIP, they didn't just like change the AWPer, they also have a config. Was it hard to actually prepare against them?
Yes and no, because obviously they have kind of nothing because I don't play with him usually. So we're just going to play our game. Anti-strat is, of course, we're going to do it, but most likely we're gonna play like Vitality do, and yeah, that's it. We're not gonna overthink, and we're just gonna play our game.
All right, guys, then may the best team win.
Of course, let's go.
After a great start from NIP, the alarm bells have started to sound from 6-2 in their favor. The half ended 9-6 to Vitality. They go on a huge 7-round streak to close that one out. NIP barely making a dent from the moment they kind of started losing rounds. 3 opening kills in the entire first half for NIP. Something's lacking here. And Vitality, they've come alive.
Yeah, I just hope Nip can get an AWP in Hedrick's hands. He had 1 in that entire T side. The money wasn't great for Nip. You know, they were getting some bomb plants, but the 1 AWP they had got shot in the back and never saw it again. Smokes over the A site for Vitality. A full execute, something we never saw from Nip, but a big gap. Alexi looks through it and finds that first kill. Bombs for default, meaning they need this CT. Oh my goodness, with a USP. That's despicable. A little wider for Zywoo on this plant, so he will make it out. I did not know a USP could spam you through that in so few shots. Alexi B falls down as he crosses in, and Magis misses the timing on Conflict's flank. 2-on-4. I said they needed spawn, but they no longer have a foot in this round. It's going to be Nip on the retake, finding a 7th.
Yeah, great stuff from Alexi. Lovely little bit of trickery. And also, speaking of trickery, head trick. 2 in this one. That's going to swing him up, tripling his kills in 1 round. That makes sense, going from 1 to 3.
Yeah, that's literally
yeah, but off of 2 kills, that's the part that confused me.
No, you
maths is weird, right? Here we are, NIP.
Dude, that's crazy. I've seen people spam with A1S or even the AWP, but that's unbelievable. You see, Zywoo just moves it. He's so confused. How did he do that?
like just staring.
Oh,
the pain felt in that little still.
That's unbelievable. Well done. Very nice for Alexi. Changes the entire outcome of the round. Rez, flash swing. They're all here, buddy. They're all here. You got to hit shots. You got to be quick. Oh, can he escape? No. caught inside the smoke, but all the other rifles coming to reap rewards until Spinks and ZywOo 1-2 punch, and they can leave mid. Yes, great call. They've got 2 Galils, they've got a couple of nades, and they've got a hope.
This one's gotten like crazy close for NIP really quickly. Right, it kind of, you know, you were feeling quite good. You were just kind of having a mid-skirmish, and in the blink of an eye, we've ended up in a 2v2. NIP are now going hunting. They're trying to get a bit of info to react to here, to play off the back of, and with Hedrick having pushed through lower, the penny might drop that it's not the B play. He's going to commit to the full wrap all the way through spawn, and that will leave some pressure on Brolin alone on this A site.
If they're almost destined to plant for CT unless he shows himself. Oh, and he's just missed that kill. Spinks was so low. I mean, the only plant that isn't for Brolin really is a triple plant, and that's open for everything else. So they're going to spend time clearing positions, trying to gain where is our best chance. But they're not going to find info, and Hedrick's full flanked. He's made a big play here. Even if they clear CT, Brolin's deep. They won't check this far. They don't have the time to, but they've got the info. Now the flank's activated. Missed shot. Hedrick didn't get that guaranteed kill, and they know they can plant the front triple as long as Spinks provides that cover, but his back is turned to spawn. Brolin activates, and ZywOo falls at the hands of Hedrick. It looked a bit scuffed there for Nip, but they recovered it well with trading their contact, and they find 8. It was always meant to be their round. It was only Deagle armor for Vitality, but still it gets close. It might even be tempting to buy. But the bomb plant and 3 kills, that's up to Apex.
Look at the speed of these trades from everyone in
yeah.
Like, the kill feed is just chock full. And yet still NIP are able to regain control. And yeah, I think very good stuff from Hedrick there. It would have been easy to overcommit to that fight on the flank. The moment he misses that golden opportunity, I think it would have been so easy to get in your head a bit, try to overcommit to fighting for it, but instead backs off, give room to Brolin. Vitality are forced up again though.
Rez is key.
Throwing more money into this. Rez fighting for this mid-control, and for good reason. Magisk with the reply, and Hedrick, yeah, you get a little whiff of ZywOo bearing down upon you from the top of mid. He doesn't want to go back in for that fight. Smoke in window. And now mid taken. But look at what NIP are doing all across the map.
Yeah, this could come back to hurt them, though. There's nothing worse than hitting this flank timing, but look at the gap that Vitality have found. They've walked into B, and Alexi's now lost his bomb site as a result. And because they've pushed Palace, I think the penny's dropping for Nip. I think they're realizing, uh-oh, they could be in the site right now. Hedrick's got to deal with this. And he doesn't know how deep they are.
Yeah, this is a really rough rotate for Hedrick. Someone who's already... that spot is huge. He at least knows that they're very deep. And so he's going to approach this a little more measured. Doesn't make it any easier to get the better of ZywOo. When you spot Hedrick rotating in like that, I also think, you know, the alarm bells are going off. Well, why wasn't anyone actually in B? You saw they're keeping an eye on the apartments here. Alexi does not have this same element of surprise as is going to be necessary to win this one. First kill found. The MP9 tagged by this scout. Apex trapped in at the bench. The Glock out, and Rocket, he locks it in with 2. Great stuff from the man at the helm of Vitality.
So energetic today. I'm loving what Apex has given us, not just in the server, Harry, with how you talked about his performance on the CT side of this map, which has often been an issue, but even outside, screaming through that glass. Nip can see every bit of it. And wow, Glock 1v2 essentially in the site. He'll do it on his own. Very nice shooting. And that was the reforce for Vitality. They lost pistol, you could barely tell. Mid-smoke out in the open there gives Config a fight, but it's a fight Apex is willing to take. That's his first opening fight of the map, and it's perfect.
Now, hopefully, that doesn't trigger something, you know.
Primal.
like primal in his
I forgot what it tasted like.
And now that I've had it, I just want more.
No, but it's been very measured for Apex, and it continues to be even after that kill. This is a Vitality that, you know, not just want to break the bad luck of Katowice's but also have a major to win this year.
And
a
even more so than that, yeah, right? It's where it is, it's what it means to the, well, you know, to the guys in the team, but especially for Apex.
I mean,
ZywOo.
That's what ZywOo's been saying. You know, he's been saying it's not just about, in a recent interview with Dexerto, he was talking about how it's not just about any one tournament or any one performance. It's about the big picture. It's about the year, and the year is about the major, the Paris major. So for ZywOo, that is the big ticket item. That is what he wants, and especially for the organization as well. This round, looking to get mopped up. 5v3 and Vitality here to play. Very little resistance. These pistols aren't going to put much down range. And so Nip have to save. And what a fall from grace, Harry. From a 4-0 lead, a 6-2 lead, and then 7 straight rounds for Vitality. And they've barely let off the gas since. Nip were looking sharp out of the gate, but Brolin's had 1 kill in the last 10 rounds.
Yeah, you know, what's scary as well is that 5 of these 8 rounds directly come off the back of pistols and the conversions for NIP, right? So it's like when you actually look at the bulk of rounds played, the kind of high investment, you know, normal rounds. I don't know why I'm breaking down what is a buy round so much. I'm like feeling.
You know when they have money.
You know when they've like got the ops and stuff,
like
right? Because like that's like most of the game, right? But no, right?
For sure, 2 pistols and all the conversions. Well, not all the conversions because they got double forced here, but yeah, 5 rounds of their 8 are from pistols and conversions, and so that's just a bad sign, isn't it? 3 rifle rounds, if you want to call it that, for Nip in this entire game, and Vitality have just done streak after streak, and I have a feeling a second streak, Harry, is about to begin. And no, it's not Apex taking his shirt off, but it's a lot of T rounds in a row.
Would it surprise you if he did that?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Maybe a Pro League. Back in Malta in the sun.
Oh, what's happening over here? Okay.
Well,
there we go. FaZe looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. That's very reassuring for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good sign to see the, you know, it's sometimes hard for the teams to come straight into the group and play against teams that have been in Kato for a few days, have played the play-ins, are warmed up. Even though the tier is sometimes different, you know, it's reassuring to see Vitality, to see NaVi, to see FaZe doing well. Let's see if it keeps up, though, because Nip have that first kill and they've taken apps.
Okay. And with Magisk over in Palace, the actual, you know, resources dedicated into B isn't that much for Vitality. They want to try and hold on to this. Magisk is now dead, so at this point they are committed to the B play. Nip is starting to fall in from all these angles, starting to move around. You are getting boxed into this B site.
I ain't planting. Oh my god, these USPs.
That's why Dupree didn't want the bomb. Apex catches a bullet, but ZywOo's doing all he can to keep him in it. Dupree, bomb on his back now, and he's lost it in the market. ZywOo trying to do this alone. It needs to be the ace clutch for him. These are the rounds he so often delivers in.
What a position.
These are the moments, but up on top, you're never looking there. Brolin has his number 9 on the board for NIP, and Vitality, that one gets away from them.
Oh, his config Mr. Screamy there, that looked like. I'm liking that. He did hit some key kill with the USP running back in off Catwalk, while Vitality were trying to make up their mind. Do we fight for market? If we get this kill, we can flank back into A, similar to how Nip did that early in their T side, but there's 2 CTs coming from that position. And they frag out. Nice try for ZywOo, not enough. And Nip have saved their bacon. Head trick, smoke on the molly, gets 1 shot off. They know the AWP is here now. And let's see how they try and approach it, because he's still having a rough game, like it or not. This is his 2nd AWP in the map, however. But that can still be a detriment. You know, he's not warmed up with it yet. But he's got to show its worth. He's got to show its value. Window smoke, top con smoke. Vitality now have eyes closed for Nip. Blind. Head trick plays ticket. ZywOo tries to creep into the ladder. This is a boost. Hello, this is something different. on top of the little ledge. Alexi goes over. Oh, probably 4x3. Couldn't see the feet over that smoke. Doesn't matter. ZywOo's picked from Res and window, and Hedrick still sits back in CT. The bomb's coming back through T-spawn. This is going to be an A split, just relying on dupree's position, really. And Hedrick's just left A. Oh my goodness. This is a complete misread from
Yeah, this is quite the gamble, but they are at least going to learn about it because of Res. However, learning you've made the wrong call, the wrong read, it's not the most pleasurable learning experience out there. Brolin has got to do the heavy lifting under Palace. Prince of Counter-Strike spammed out. Ooh, Config tries to come through, tries to disrupt that plant. It's left onto Spinks, but with Rez having pushed all the way through the apartments, he could end the round right now. Instead, Spinks giving a bit of room, giving a bit of respect, and now a chance in the 1v2. Crossing into CT's nice. He can play around this bomb. There is a smoke on Rez. That could prove instrumental to force a fight out of Spinks. Going up and over here. Smoke on the bomb. Spinks waits, calls their bluff, doesn't swing right away, but now he's going to have to. They're on it, they're sticking it, and the spam is too short. Won't find it, and so Rez there to mop him up right at the close. NIP, they streak 2 together, and this could be a bit of a turning point, right? In that first half of the game, that was their real problem. They did get a couple of rifle rounds in there, but it was always one and done. It was always, you know, an immediate bring back down to reality for NIP. Well, now they've got a chance to embark on a streak. The money is broken for Vitality. Even with the plant, the best they're looking at is some pistols in this round. And so this is where Nip can look to shoot for the stars to tie this game up. Okay, all that happens, I guess. It's just one kill, you're not worried yet, but I have said, you know, these Deagles, these pistol rounds out of Vitality cannot be underestimated. Config learns that the hard way.
And like Magisk, just knocked Config down a peg in a round that Nip need, or rather can't afford to lose. These are supposed to be the easy ones, but now pressure on their shoulders. Brolin's going back to middle. Giving up the A site, but there's no smokes in this round for Vitality anyway. So it's not a huge worry for Nip. Alexi walks into that angle. Could have been a lot more dangerous. dupreeh does hit the bullet. Apex is still scouting. If Nip throw themselves at mid with that flashes, this could be very, very dangerous. And there we go. dupreeh hits one. Spinks follows up. They had util, man. They had flashes. They had everything they needed to make those fights happen. But Vitality's patience pays dividends. dupreeh, ooh, he sees something, and he's taken ahead. My goodness, Vitality not missing a beat in this eco round. And Hedrick hears them all around him. He's going to need a 1v5 for the ages. It's not on. That is a robbery of a round. Pulled up with pistols, and they take the bag.
I could actually hear that from the other room.
Oh, this is a lot of energy.
They're getting loud.
It's just a wasted opportunity for Nip. However you cut it, they have all this util. They have just everything they need to fight together, and they just dry peek one by one. What do you expect?
They're really pretty deep shots.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, that's when the Deagle looks its best. Is when you're just getting dry swung. You love that. You love that chance. One shot, one opportunity to make it work, and they land it.
Yeah, and FaZe, they only need 2 more kills for their first map of this series, so...
Ooh, should we watch them close it out? Yeah! Nice!
Feels good for FaZe. Back in Kato. Back for more. But this time they've got to get through JKS, not use him to their advantage. G2 also had a banging opening game against Big earlier on. All right, full eco. Vitality, it felt like they were running away with it until Nip won a couple of gun rounds, and then that happened. 12-10, even with the eco stack on A, 3 players in the site. Shouldn't be enough with USPs. ZywOo's killed Magisk, just to make their job a little bit easier, perhaps. But luckily enough, Vitality will resume us from the madness. I don't know what ZywOo got onto there, but sometimes someone just runs in front of your shot, and you've got to take it. Otherwise, a nice easy round for Vitality, and they'll keep 3 alive while they do as well. No.
Even Apex, that's a little different to his signature scream, isn't it?
He's trying them out. You know, he's picking up some new catchphrases.
I gotta say, the vibe seems good in the Vitality camp. I saw them all walking around earlier, smiles on their faces, all having a bit of a joke with one another.
Yeah.
All getting on.
Little sing-song.
Yeah, Dupree was singing.
It's a good sign. Vibe check came up positive. And we need something from the Stoic Ninjas. Silent in this second half right now. Head trick set up on ramp. A lot easier than these mid fights that haven't netted Nip much. But even in this round, Bajisk is not in a dangerous position at all. And it looks like Vitality do want to end B, just judging by their positions. We haven't seen that tested, and it's quite a nice hold here in Config and Alexi. Config had some awkward rounds on T-side just due to positioning, but he's still the top fragger of the team right now. That's a lot better than the play-in, where he went a bit cold. But it can be hard to just plug and play with a new team. I mean, he's stood in for 3 teams.
Yeah, he's on
Astralis. Yeah.
All right, up through short. Dupree leads the charge. Oh, bloody hell. Double molly displaces this short hold. Config's even shaking his head around. He's freaking out. Trying to reposition. Trying to stay alive. Has to be the savior, but can't live up to it. Dead to ZywOo's AWP, and Nipper running for the hills. B crumbles under the weight. The Titan that is this Vitality squad, and even though Apex pushes the envelope out a bit trying to hunt these guns down, Vitality can afford it. They've got money, and they've got a
post plant.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a good time for him to go pushing. That's just flexing.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
That's just flexing, man. Just, mate, they ain't coming for this. You know that. You saw them leave it. You just did that for us. Actually, he really believes they are still coming.
Good to be safe. Good to just double check. Don't want to get ninjaed by the ninjas. Clue is in the name after all. And it's nice to see ZywOo coming in strong to this first map as well. 21 kills, 22 before the team kill. So let's check out some of the highlights from him in this game already. Took a few rounds for Vitality to get started, but once they did, boy, they came in swinging. And this T side has been nice as well. One of the most enjoyable players to watch play is ZywOo, and has been for a long time, even despite Vitality's sometimes lack of success.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we were talking with Alex Machine, who had like a sit-down interview with Zonic, right? And he kind of gave us the cliff notes from that, and he was saying that, you know, Vitality were disappointed, to say the least, with the not reaching the goals they kind of set for themselves last year, and how communication felt like it ended up being a far bigger problem than maybe they initially envisioned. But they said that they've taken some time out this year to really make sure guys like ZywOo feel comfortable in this, you know, like non-native environment. Nades down over towards ramp. Feels like it's paying off, is the point I was going to make there. ZywOo is looking clean.
Yeah, every team who goes from speaking their own language to, you know, international says the same thing, and it really does make a world of difference. Just, you know, spending years thinking in your own language and having to listen and think in an entirely different one can be very difficult. Vitality a dry exec out A, and every time they've done this, it's gone wonderfully well. This one is no exception. 2 entry kills, and you wouldn't be hard-pressed to save, but the scoreline makes Nip want to try and get something done here. That grenade is brutal, and that will signal it. Nip have to throw in the towel yet again, and I feel like I've said that more than once this game, because Vitality are deciding rounds off of just a couple of entry kills again and again. Spacing has been very tight coming out ramp, and no one is multi-killed on this A site for Nip. Look at those fingers. What's that left hand doing, man? What's it reaching for?
Yeah, it does look kind of creepy. I've never thought about like what the arms are doing. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing in that one.
Spooky stuff.
All right. NIP, they took a save to try and battle back into this 4 OT on their map pick. This might be one that just falls by the wayside, right? I mean, in all the rounds like this, it feels like they've kind of been decided on a whim from Vitality and getting the openers, just hard committing, and then you're forced into these save spots. Now, at least up against 15, you're going to give it a go no matter what.
Yeah.
But you need something to go your way out of the gate. And that's where, you know, you're really hoping that Hedrick could look to get involved, get activated with that AWP.
Yeah, and I don't want to just make excuses for him, because at a certain point, you've got to take matters into your own hands and try and force fights. But Hedrick has been getting avoided very well by Vitality, and on T side, the money wasn't there either. So he hasn't had a lot of chances at shots. He's had a couple, but yeah, it's not really gone great. I even noticed previous round, Nip mollied window. Vitality have an anti-molly window smoke from spawn, so it didn't even create a gap where you can like AWP through it. Hedrick started window, it got smoked. This round he left, he's now anchoring B. And so he's solo, which at least allows his team to play heavy on this A site, which has been the point of contention for Vitality. But again, it might be another round where Hedrick is left in the wrong position, able to have no impact, and it seems to be the case yet again. 6 and 16. Not the game he would have wanted here, especially not on Nip's map pick. With Inferno coming up next. Should be a lot more options for him there at least. There's a barrel scene. Alexi, oh, finishes the job. Nicely done. Nip with a 5-on-4. I feel like we haven't seen that in a long time in this half. Untraded as well as Vitality crawl up connector. Apex and the boys trying to finish the job.
Yeah, he's just keeping attention on Con. He doesn't want to even fight for the A site. Instead, he goes back and looks at short. Dupree crosses in and nails Config at the stairs. A 2v2 head trick. That had to be it. Luckily enough, Rez helps out, and Rez has been that kind of hero figure for NIP. That kill tips the scales, but you've still got to get past this guy, ZywOo. Almost like the Voldemort, you don't want to say his name. Lurking back in towards the spawn.
Hurry!
You know what this guy can do. A wounded head trick up against him, moving in. He's had a very troublesome game, and the molly right there, that's going to decide it. It's not down to Hedrick's ability, it's not down to skill. There was no way for you to win this one. ZywOo's decided it, you can kill him all you like. Vitality pick up the win here, 16 to 10, and it doesn't feel like they even break a sweat doing it.